horde shooters are dead. There, I said it. Now you can come at me with your Dark Tides and your Deep Rock Galactics, but people, we as gamers used to be swimming in a plethora of god-tier horde shooters back in the day. Look at your first 3 Gears of War games, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Black Ops Zombies 1, Blops 2, Killing Floor, Undead Nightmare, NW3, Titanfall 2, and the pimp daddy of them all, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. A gaming community that's still active to this day over 13 years later. Really makes you want to dust off that old brick of a 360, don't it? But today isn't the day to reminisce of days long gone or of golden eras of gaming. No, we're here to talk about the next generation of horde shooters. To those who have chosen to pick up the torch of this wretched genre and continue running with it in the right direction. To those who have learned from their predecessors and chose to build upon those foundations laid down all those years ago, rather than tearing them down, adding aesthetics, dynamics, and game mechanics unavailable to those older generations of games and their developers. And all of this done without the need for enormous, mega greedy corporations like EA, Microsoft, or Activision. Guys, it brings me great joy to introduce to you all the game that's going to help save the horde shooting genre. To the game that prides itself on multiplayer mayhem, and to one of the funnest co-op experiences this side of the Milky Way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mycopunk. Published by crowd favorite Devolver Digital, Mycopunk is the fungal brainchild of Pigeons at Play, a small team of passionate game developers who have seemingly come out of nowhere but are looking to leave an impression that's long-lasting. With just a LinkedIn account, a freshly made YouTube channel, and a Twitter showing off their absolute gem of a game, Pigeons at Play are as unknown as they are creatively infectious. Starting off over 2 years ago as a school project, both the game and the developers of Mycopunk slowly began snowballing into a fully fledged team of creatives, game designers, and 3D artists with every iteration of the game, slowly honing their creation with the feedback of over 100,000 playtesters. And that level of grassroots initiative and just overall love for gaming is something that can be felt in all aspects of this game. From the roach-infested dropship that is the hub area, to the early announcement trailers found on the team's various social media pages.
They'll fire me if I don't promote Mycopunk.
They'll kill us.
All of it, absolutely all of it, just screams of people who genuinely care about the game they're creating. People, to say we live in a time where video games are dying is just absolutely insane. Once again, the indie scene has boldly shown us that it isn't willing to wait for the major IPs to make something worth playing anymore. Because these developers are taking matters into their own hands, choosing to create a project which video game fans of any skill level or any background can enjoy for hours at a time or just short 15-minute chunks. The team even managed to get a booth over at PAX East this past May. That's insane. You love to see passionate developers like this having fun with the community as well as delivering an experience I thought I wasn't going to have anymore. Genuinely, after 2016, the horde shooting genre just jumped off a damn cliff, and there's no denying this. Again, I know that there's some modern exceptions to this statement, but guys, those are few and far between. I need more. This whole space needs more. For crying out loud, horde mode used to be a standard multiplayer category in so many of the games I grew up playing. And I'm sure they were for you too. But now, thanks to the crew over at Pigeons at Play, it would seem that another great horde shooter is slowly being raised into the public eye. Which brings us to their debut title, Mycopunk, a mission-based, cooperative horde shooter taking place on this mushroom planet of sentient, fungal, cyborg laser monsters. Ain't that a mouthful? Consisting of 3 mission types, playable over 4 different maps, the game boasts a high level of weapon and class customizability, as well as a large amount of enemy variety. leading to some overwhelming and rather crazy moments of the batshit variety. If I had to describe the combat in one word, then it would definitely be hectic. Even with a careful plan, teammates, good weapons, and a cool head, Mycopunk's hordes of fungal laser-shooting monstrosities will hunt you down no matter where you run and no matter who you've brought with you. Its gameplay is relentless, something that sounds like a complaint, but is in fact the very reason why I play this game in the first place. The heart-pounding adrenaline rush to the drop pod, the seconds of vulnerability between weapon changes and reloads, even those moments of saving a teammate, all of it, it's so damn hectic in the best way possible. It kind of makes you feel like you're in an action movie while tripping balls. I love it. Now, as far as classes go, there's a total of 4 very distinct, playable android characters that act as the new Atlas Hazard crew, the underpaid exterminators of those fungal cyborg pests. Oh, and I almost forgot the best part.
Got a big-ass fungal chain gunking things up all over. You were going to destroy it. Wow, that was thick. Oh, hey, Patty.
That's right, your boss is this smart-talking, giant cockroach guy, acting as both a mascot for the property as well as being an underpaying son of a bitch who always seems to be in high spirits, even after you shoot at him. Up first in classes, we have the Wrangler, a rocket lasso throwing, air dashing and strafing cowboy who's the perfect pick for any fast-paced schizo solo player who just loves scorpion fatalities. What's really cool about the Wrangler is that his lasso can be used in both an offensive and defensive way, acting as a pull-in or last-minute escape if your dash is not off cooldown. This class excels especially at acceleration, zipping and zapping through hordes of dead fungus cyborgs without so much as batting an eye. And this means that the Wrangler is constantly up close, picking up health items as you'll probably be in the thick of it 99% of the time. It's almost like a Souls game in the sense that you'll be safer the closer you are to the enemy when playing this class. A master of strafing, just don't stray too close to any boss classes without having backup. Next we have the Bruiser, a hard light shield projector which also has the ability to perform this aerial nosedive slam that produces a small shockwave upon impact. This character is essentially the support, providing substantial defense options while still staying sharp on the offensive side as well. The Bruiser's shield not only blocks enemy projectiles, but the actual bodies of the enemies themselves can be damaged with the use of this shield. It's one that does continuous damage, as it blocks incoming shots, just so damn cool. The Bruiser is perfect for those who want to either carry newbie players, act as the brick wall for the group, or just meteor throw themselves into a boss's health bar. Do whatever you like, baby, you're the tank. Though you will die just as easily as everyone else, don't let the shield fool you. Then, we have the Scrapper, a jetpack wielding, stripper pole having, grapple pole having escape artist. Now if that last class was good for group play, then this one acts as the perfect hybrid for supportive class and solid solo pick, allowing players with more knowledge of the map and enemy placement to sling themselves over huge distances while just narrowly avoiding their death. The glowing pole this class can summon, unfortunately, has a limited amount of use to it, but does have a fair enough cooldown to warrant the 3 to 4 swings you end up getting. The pole can be placed anywhere, on anything, and can be used by everyone in the party, no matter what class you are. The Scrapper essentially acts as the problem solver of the group, allowing everyone to escape from any form of situation, and often comes in clutch when mad dashing back to the drop pod. If you're playing in a group, I'd say having one of these on your team is almost mandatory in those higher level 4 missions. And last but not least, we have the Green Thickums herself, the Glider, a wingsuit flying, rocket propelling angel of death who is the most overpowered class in this game. Just forget all that other shit I said earlier, the Glider is the only class that matters. Do you hear me? The only class that matters. Not only does your wingsuit eject you from any dangerous situation, or allows you to get to places higher and faster than anyone else, but the rocket salvo heals your teammates at the same time it's exploding your fungal foes, which comes in handy way too often. Hands down, the Glider is the funnest class to play, in my opinion at least. And especially in that hub area. I was exploring every single nook and cranny of that dropship by the time I reached the top of it. There's like these vents you can get into, and the ceiling of the spacecraft feels never-ending. It's actually kind of nuts that there wasn't like an invisible wall or something up there. Same goes for the battle map. You can get so much elevation compared to the other classes with this one character, forcing the enemies to climb their way to you for a change, and making for an incredibly agile healer class, as well as an all-out glass cannon. But what is a class-based horde shooter without its weapons? Well, the way your arsenal works in Mycopunk has nothing to do with the class you pick at the start of the game, and instead allots a primary, secondary, and grenade slot for everyone and anyone to mix and match the weapons they want. You can't double up on the same gun, but if you want to combine similar playing stuff, you totally can. The choice is totally up to you. As of the making of this video, which was made during the demo, you have 5 playable weapons, all of which are extremely customizable, and a possible 6th weapon that has to be unlocked via a secret chamber on the map, but I'll get to that later. First up for weapons is the tried and true Cycler, a fully automatic assault rifle that's perfect for having to mow down waves and waves of low-tier enemies, or for the pouring of entire clips into these larger boss monstrosities. My favorite modifications for this weapon has to be the acid elemental damage. Like, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing the full range of your slow dissolving green goo as it eats its way through countless enemies. It's a beautifully balanced weapon and a go-to for clearing paths or for just wanting to have a higher magazine capacity. Now, if that last weapon was for clearing paths, then this next one is for carving a completely new one entirely. Because up next is the gunship cannon, my second favorite weapon in the game, and an absolute unit of future technology. The gunship cannon is a slow-shooting, armor-piercing dispenser of explosions and broken dreams. It's essentially the go-to for laying down suppression fire for your teammates or ripping bosses a new asshole. There's actually a really dope tri-elemental booster that can be applied to this weapon that will simultaneously dissolve, burn, and electrocute the poor creatures found in front of its path. And playing without one of these in the higher difficulties is almost entirely a death sentence. Next up is the Swarm Launcher, a futuristic laser Uzi with ballistically swarming rounds, and probably the game's hardest weapon to master. Aside from looking cool as all hell, the Swarm Launcher excels pretty much anywhere and in almost every circumstance. It's good in open fields, tight spaces, crippling the legs of those bigger laser enemies. This weapon does it all. Not so great at long range though, but up close and medium range, it just absolutely shreds. Eventually, you can even unlock mods that will allow the swarm rounds to drop immediately, or even seek out enemies that get crossed in your reticle. The only downside to this thing is that you're definitely going to want to have to practice on the shooting range, because it can be a very punishing weapon, especially if you don't have the timing down for reloads, and getting used to the way it shoots may take some time. Despite this though, it is worth the time to master, as this is probably the coolest looking gun in the whole game, making for an amazing clearing weapon. In my opinion, it's just as odd in its looks and performance as it is fun to fool around with. You will drain through bullets though, so keep that in mind. Then there's the DMLR, a semi-automatic sci-fi marksman rifle that can pick off enemies at a distance and charges up a laser beam that deals punishing amounts of damage. Also, points for looking like an albino version of the Covenant carbine. Kinda. By shooting normally, the beam charges up this bar here before releasing a blast that is both long-reaching and long-lasting. The best mods for this weapon are definitely anything that prioritizes the beam lasting longer, as this will be the bread to your DMLR's butter, perfect for anyone preferring the sniper role in a group. Next is the Aussie Jackrabbit, a fast-blasting bunny shotgun with laser guiding and bouncing rounds, which is hands down my favorite weapon as it's a complete blast to play. Just shreds through everything with ease, but it does come with the drawback of emptying the magazines way too quickly and maiming your friends when in confined spaces and cramped scenarios. Little bit too much friendly fire with this one. For mods, you're going to want to go with the flame rounds, anything that makes the rounds bounce around more, or something called double time, which shoots 2 shots at once. It just absolutely shreds. Shreds, I say. And last but not least, we have the FR-15833 plate launcher, or simply just the plate launcher, a repurposed construction tool now used to boomerang insane amounts of damage across the battlefield. You get it by heading to a secret area on the corner of the map, which I unfortunately never got to film in my playthrough, but there's tons of videos online showing off how to get the weapon, so for those who want it, literally just YouTube it and it'll pop up. Brings you to this whole new ominous looking map. It's a neat little Easter egg. But yeah, aside from the grenades, which are split into electric, flaming, and corrosive damage, the weapons of Mycopunk rely entirely on their in-depth customization to provide you with multiple versions of a singular gun. The philosophy here being quality over quantity. And truly, there are some quality weapon mod combinations here. From enhancing the key functions of a weapon to the complete shift in playstyle entirely, all mods have to be balanced in this grid-based inventory system, forcing you to get creative on what you can and cannot use in a build. But I think the true magic of Mycopunk, as with any online co-op game, but especially with this one, is the pure madness that is the multiplayer experience. Whether it be goofing off at base or raining down laser destruction on the planet below, the gameplay loop of dropping in, clearing missions for mods and loot, surviving the hordes, and then surviving the escape pod is one that keeps me coming back again and again. It's as heart-pounding as it is challenging and difficult. Even with a 4-player team, you'll constantly find yourself being overwhelmed by insurmountable odds. Waves upon waves of fungus mutants that want nothing more than to tear you to shreds. And every death after every cinematic death will only push your subconscious mind further into another playthrough. It's just so addicting, just dropping in one more time. The challenge of surviving those cyborg fungus things is just so damn fun. Not to mention, the gunplay is tight, the team play is perfect, and it fills me with the nostalgia of those old 360 days and the horde shooters I used to play back then. And for that, Pigeons at Play, you will always have a special place in my Steam library, because Mycopunk, to me, acts not only as a reminder of games long gone, but also as a beacon of hope for the horde shooting genre and what it has in store for us in the future. The game releases on PC July 10th, and I'm definitely looking forward to pouring hundreds of more hours into this title. As always, the socials are in the description if you want to follow the developers, and until next time guys, I'll see you then.